ACC, and it's just exciting to be a part of it as coaches and players. You start your season for us 124 days ago, and it kind of comes down to one day, 4 quarters away from achieving what we all set out to do at the beginning of the season, and that's to be the ACC champion. So, our team has had a great week of practice. Got a lot of respect for North Carolina, Coach Fedora, and the job that they've done. It's been a special season for them as well, and I don't have any doubt it'll be a great game tomorrow night at 8:14, I think, when we kick it off. So, any questions from you guys?
Please raise your hand. Let us get the 2 handheld mics to you. Let us know who you are and who you're with. First question, second row.
Jeff Gravely, WRAL TV in Raleigh. Coach, I know you're just more concerned about having one more point than North Carolina and winning, but would you be shocked if this were a 14-10 game?
I'd be shocked. I'd be pretty shocked. You got the 2 top scoring offenses in the league, 2 of the best in the country, and 2 teams that really put a lot of pressure on defenses in every regard, because both teams can run the ball. Both teams are committed to running the ball. Both teams can throw the ball down the field. Got skill all over. Got 2 great quarterbacks. So, yeah, 14-10 would surprise me, but anything can happen. That's for sure.
Hey, Coach, Mark Armstrong with ABC 11 up in Raleigh. They were a good offense last year, North Carolina. They're a great offense this year with Elijah Hood. If you're going to pick a focal point, is he the guy you're trying to shut down primarily, or is it a whole?
Did you see that number 8 against NC State last week? These guys, you can't. I don't think you can focus on one person, and I think that's what makes us difficult to defend. And we're kind of mirror images of each other in that regard. They've got a quarterback that is their second leading rusher, big, strong guy. They've done a great job with their protections. Very few sacks, just like we've given up very few sacks. Hard to get to him. And again, they keep you off balance with him being involved in the running game. Great job with their screens and misdirection and then shots down the field. I mean, they got some guys that can go get it. Number 13's, he might be the fastest guy we've played this year. And we've seen some really good players. So they just put a lot of pressure on you. I think if you focus on one guy, they're going to beat you with somebody else. And it's just you try to take something away, but you gotta play the game. You gotta respond to what's going on in the game and get dialed in early on what the plan's going to be. But it's going to be a challenge for us. There's no question.
To our right, second row.
Coach, Scott Fowler, Charlotte Observer. Given the way ticket sales have gone and your head start in that you clinched your side first, do you perceive you'll have a home field advantage tomorrow?
No. I think that the game's played between the lines, and they'll have a great crowd. We'll have a great crowd, but you got to play well for that crowd to be an advantage. So that our focus has to be on not who's in the stands and all that, but how we play and getting prepared to play our best 4 quarters of the season. But I know we'll have an excellent crowd. I mean, there's no question that. I mean, a couple hours. I mean, we got people drive to Clemson. They drive 7, 8, 9 hours. Watch a ball game, then drive right back. So I know they'll come a couple, and we're probably closer to a lot of them being up here. But this is a great place, and North Carolina will have a great turnout. But at the end of the day, it's all about how we play in the game.
Coach, Aaron Brenner of the Post and Courier. After the last few weeks of playing teams that didn't make it into a bowl game, did UNC jump out on tape and everything that they do on both sides of the ball?
Oh yeah, they jump out on tape. Just put it in there. They're explosive, playing great on defense, really doing an excellent job there. And again, they're as explosive a team as you'll see in the country right now. They're a top 10 team. I mean, they're a complete football team. Great in special teams. Got return guys that can change the game with one touch. So they jumped out big time.
Right again.
Hey, Dabo, Chris Heidel from Herbifin Radio in Baltimore.
How
you doing? Talk about the last time you were here in 2011 with your quarterback. Boyd was your quarterback, and now you have Watson. They're both at the sophomore. Talk about both of them and what you see, coming these 2 games.
Yeah, I recognize your voice. He's on the Mike Finn call every week. I hear all these voices, but I don't know the faces. But I know you got a distinct voice. So good to meet you. But well, I think Taj was a redshirt sophomore. Deshaun is a true sophomore. I think that Deshaun is just further along than where Taj was at this stage. You know, Taj was kind of starting to come into his own a little bit. Didn't have quite the foundation that Deshaun had when he showed up at Clemson. But both great competitors, both great ambassadors for our program, and you know, we're the reason we were here in 11 was one big reason was number 10, and there's no question, big reason why we're here this year is our quarterback. And most championship teams, they've got a great quarterback, and both of those guys certainly were that.
Second row.
Jeff Gravely, WRAL. Where have you seen the biggest improvement from Deshaun from freshman year to this year?
Well, last year, you know, he was just trying to assert himself and kind of earn his spurs, if you will. Trying to, you know, he hadn't played, and so now you got to go prove it. So the biggest thing is he's the guy. You know, this year he's really asserted himself as the leader of our team. He's really taken on that role. He's just done an incredible job. But just the experience. I mean, the experience that he got last year from the success that he had. He's bigger, stronger than he's ever been, and as a result, you know, more confident than he was this time last year. Not that he was lacking confidence, but it just, you know, when you're doing something for the first time, it's always different the next time around. And so he's just able to draw on all this experience that he had last year, and then just another off season of developing, you know, mentally and physically. Very, very smart player, very sharp from a football IQ standpoint. But that's the biggest thing.
Top row to the right.
Todd Summers, WSPA TV. Coach, just you look at this game with so many things out there for your team to accomplish as a national quarterfinal game. I mean, you see that a win is the only way you can get to the playoff?
Well, I mean, we don't control any of that stuff, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, every week's been a playoff game. Every week is when you get into November, and if you're in the hunt, it's a playoff every single Saturday. I mean, it really is. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come down to. I mean, our schedule allows us to compete to be the best in the country. And if you can, you know, win, then you got a chance to keep moving forward. And that's what we've been able to do. It's been a fun season. It's been a challenge every single week, and we've tried to make every week the biggest game of the year. You know, even though some of y'all want the next game to be the biggest game of the year, we've just refused to buy into that. We've made it everything about that game, and because it is the biggest game of the year. Because if you lose it, then it completely changes your opportunities. And so we've just looked at it that way all year long. We've played 48 quarters, and now we're down to 4, and we're going to have to play 4 great quarters. And you know, we don't control what other people do and all that type of stuff. All we know is that we control our destiny right now, and let's focus on just playing well, and then we can live with whatever result we get.
Right here, third row.
Coach Joe Gorcho, WIS TV Columbia, day before the game now, about to go through your walkthrough. How are you feeling, and what do you want your team to take away from the experience of walking through this stadium, knowing the next night is where their futures are going to be determined?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've just had a normal week. We haven't tried to do anything differently from a preparation standpoint. We actually do our walkthrough in Death Valley earlier today. They're on the bus on the way up here. They're just going to stop by and just kind of, you know, we got a bunch of freshmen, a bunch of guys that have never been here, so just stop by so they can kind of see the stadium and be able to visualize, you know, where they're going to play. And then we'll get on with our business. We'll go to the hotel and we'll do what we do. You know, we've got chapel at 5:50, dinner at 6:15, and they'll go to the movie. Deshaun and I got to go to the banquet tonight, but then we'll meet again as a team about 9:15, have a team meeting, and wrap it up, put them to bed, and get ready for game day. We got a routine that we have for late games, a routine for a noon game, 3:30 game, so don't really change anything as far as our preparation.
Front row.
Dabo, we talked a lot probably early in the year about the impact of Mike Williams' injury for you guys, but as the year's gone along, it seems like Diontae Kane has just matured more and more into that role. Is there a point in the season where you kind of saw, hey, this kid isn't a freshman anymore, he's ready to kind of be that guy that we rely on in our downfield game?
Well, he's just gradually throughout the year, he's just gotten more confident with the bigger picture of what he's doing. And as he's gotten comfortable with his experience, we've put a little bit more on his plate as he's been able to handle it. He's done a great job. He stepped up. Ray got hurt, and he kind of helped us there for a couple games. Sharon, not having to have so much pressure on Sharon, the combination of those two has been really, really beneficial to what we've done in the passing game. But all those guys have done well. But Dion, we felt like by the end of the year he could be pretty doggone special, and he has done just that. So I give him a lot of credit, and Jeff's done a great job with him, just bringing him along and not, like I said, not giving him too much too early. Because I think sometimes, you put too much on a guy and all of a sudden you have a bad experience and you're just not quite ready, then you lose your confidence. And so we've just kind of managed him, but now he's at a point where he really is comfortable with everything that we're asking him to do.
Middle of the room.
Matt Connolly with the State. Do you feel like no matter the outcome of this game that the ACC deserves a spot in the playoff?
Absolutely. I mean, we got 3 top 10 teams in this league. The third best team in this league just beat the SEC East champion. So I mean, we got a pretty good league. This is and getting better quickly with some of the coaches that are coming into this league. I don't think there's any question that the ACC should be wherever in one of them games. So what do I know? I'm just hope we're the one there.
Throw it right.
John McCain with the Herald Sun in Durham. Along those same lines, if UNC wins tomorrow, are they a top 14?
I'm not. I don't think about losing. So you're asking the wrong guy that question. Other people, I just think about winning. That's all I'm focused on is us trying to win the game. But if it doesn't go our way, ask me then.